That tower's still sending people to the other side. If we act quick enough, we can launch a rescue op before... you want to tell me what's going on here?
I asked the lab to devise a test to root out any more infiltrators. We're testing everyone going in or out of the base. Take them to quarantine.
Too bad about De Silva. Huh, Falk?
Heinrich has isolated one of
Mosaic's imperative commands. To humans, it's simple noise. But to an outsider...
so much more. Proceed, Doctor.
He's reacting.
That shouldn't be happening.
Higher!
I am William...
Carter. William.
Carter!
Agent Carter, I'm sorry to be the one to break this to you.
Where's Julia?
While you were away, there was an accident.
What? Bullshit. What accident?
A fire. At your house in Arlington. Julia and Richard.
Unfit for duty. You're drunk, Agent. Go home and sleep it off.
Jules. Buried before I could say goodbye.
This is your third disciplinary hearing, Agent.
Let me go.
You got me, Will.
Let me help them. Let me go. Let me go.
Awake now, are we?
Yeah. He convinced I'm human yet?
You're alive, aren't you?
Something like that.
Well, you should be fine. The director left an order to send you to talk to him as soon as you woke up. I wouldn't keep him waiting.
Good luck, Carter. Carter? Hello? Can anybody hear me? Anybody? Am I dead? Isn't there supposed to be something? Is someone out there? Who's there? Who are you?
Doctor, if you have a moment.
Absolutely. At this point, most of my patients are sleepwalkers anyway, and they're not getting any worse. Unfortunately, they're not getting any better either.
How are the infected, Doctor?
They're stable, but that's not exactly a good thing. Nurses make sure they're fed and cleaned. That's all we can do for now.
That's better than nothing.
It's like a ward full of coma patients, except they keep talking to themselves.
Any chance of finding a cure?
We've got a variety of tests running at the moment, but our first attempts were not pretty.
So it's not as simple as scraping the black goo off their faces.
We tried that. You don't want to see what's underneath.
What's happening to the sleepwalkers anyway?
We're still trying to figure that out. Their autonomic system thinks it's in a coma, but something else is influencing their physical actions.
You mean they're getting orders from somewhere?
Only on a very basic level. Like how they move toward the alien tower you saw.
Any idea how they're getting these commands?
We think it has to do with the silicoid substance on their faces. It might be functioning like the Mosaic control centers we find in Outsiders.
All the more reason to track down Mosaic and put a stop to it. I suppose there's not much more you can do for now.
We'll keep on testing. Until then, all we can do is keep them comfortable.
So, the lockdown situation is over. Big deal. I just don't see the difference.
Right. I mean, whoop-de-doo, the doors might be open, but where is there to go?
5 minutes out there and you're gonna find yourself right back under the ground.
At least we're buried alive.
Now we're sure we don't have any spies, then we can go topside.
Sure, kid, things are just great. Maybe you can ask one of the sleepwalkers to the big dance.
The commando generates a shield, defending against all enemy attacks. This can also be used to protect an injured ally or equipment. Create a projection duplicate of the recon agent, drawing fire and distracting enemies. Too much damage will destroy the projection. Technology commandeered from the outsiders briefly renders the recon agent invisible, best used to send the recon agent into sniping or flanking position.
Seen anything interesting in the field?
You know how it is. Rampaging alien hordes, bolts of deadly blue plasma, walking death machines from another world. All in a day's work.
You make it sound like an issue of Captain Thunderbolt.
I don't have to try very hard.
What the hell has Falk so paranoid?
You mean more paranoid than usual? Doesn't trust anybody but Weaver. God knows why.
Weaver's always been a good agent. Certainly better than you.
Except I'm not the one getting into screamy matches with the old man, am I?
What the hell has Falk...
You mean more...
Weaver's always...
Except I'm not the one getting into screamy matches with the old man, am I?
We're done here.
I don't know how anyone could have mistaken you for an alien. They have better senses of humor.
Another infected. William, could I have a word with you?
We need to talk about that test of yours.
My most sincere apologies for what happened at your screening, William. But as you can see, we have a more pressing matter at the moment. This man is infected.
That's never happened in the base before. Or is this another unexpected side effect of your test, Doc?
Nine. I'm quite sure this is from an outside source, but I need your help to find out where, and to do it without causing a panic.
This agent's turning into a sleepwalker, and I've seen how that goes. Unless you found a cure, I don't see how you're gonna help.
It's not a cure, but it may be the first step.
Well, what is it?
I have discovered a way to detect sleepwalker infections at an early stage, before the symptoms present. It will let us treat the subjects earlier, or at least get a better understanding of their conversion process.
Another test, Doctor?
Not to fear, William. This time you will be the one performing the test. And quietly, if at all possible.
The last thing we need is an infection scare.
Precisely. Thankfully, the detective will find any infected within a large area. Here. Check in operations, engineering, the main lab, the briefing room, and the hangar. That should cover the base.
And if I find any other infected?
Send them to see Dr. Hera. I will meet you there, and perhaps we can help these men.
During the screening, it felt like my head was going to explode. Any idea what happened?
I had no idea. Perhaps it was some resonance from your earlier exposure to the alien artifact. Tell me, how did it feel?
Like someone was inside my skull using a hammer, trying to break free. It was all I could do to stay conscious.
Yes. And you said something, too. Your name? Perhaps your rank as well?
Hell if I know. For a few seconds, it was all just a red haze.
Well, I am glad you are with us again, my friend.
You said that noise during the screening was something from Mosaic. How did you discover that?
Dr. Veer has been examining the device removed from our captive infiltrator. It would appear that this is how they receive commands from their Mosaic network.
So they're radio operated?
Not quite. But it seems to give them a sort of subconscious connection to a larger command hierarchy.
And you used the command for attack. You couldn't pick something safer, like dance?
Our control is too crude for specific commands, only general urges. And violence is a very common response, William.
I'll be on my way.
As you say. But if you would like, I have some experiments I could perform on the...
No. I'll check for infected, but I've spent quite enough time as your guinea pig for today, Doc.
real broken up about what happened to him.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
You're not looking so good, Agent. Get to the infirmary.
Huh? Why?
Just get moving. Now.
Who's gonna be the new Bravo team leader?
Hey, Carter, I heard about the silver. Tough choice, but you did the right thing, son.
No infected here, at least.
Seen those sleepwalkers?
Here's to you, Nico. Rest in peace.
All right, boys, get your gear in order and gather around.
This gonna be another rescue cakewalk, sir? Or are we gonna see some action?
Nothing so boring this time, Kinney. No. This time we're going into the belly of the beast.
All right, it's about time.
Some of those sleepwalkers are congregating at a tower out in New Mexico. We're gonna find out why and shut them down.
You sure we won't catch anything being around all those sleepwalkers?
You just worry about us getting into that tower. Alive.
Yes, sir.
This is gonna be an extended stay. Investigating the area, finding a point of entry, and infiltrating. We're gonna keep a low profile. Until we can strike.
Less John Wayne and more James Bond?
That's the spirit. And if we're lucky, we might even find a cure for the sleepwalkers.
Is that even possible?
Hell if I know. But we gotta hope, right? Otherwise, why are we still fighting?
Thinking that elevator's gonna open up. My Mabel's gonna come walking in.
Heard about your little welcome home party, Carter. Glad to see you're still in one piece.
You know, if we make it through there.
Don't even start.
No, really. If we pull through, this technology's gonna change the world.
Got some news for you. It already did.
Agent, you need to report to the infirmary.
What? But I feel fine.
Don't argue with me. Just report to the infirmary now. What have you got on the drawing board today, Doc?
Oh, the usual. A few weapons you brought in, some subsystems for the Avenger, and a couple of side projects for when we rebuild society.
Got any new weapons for the field?
Murphy and I have had a lot of luck with what you've recovered, but it's not exactly easy to hybridize their designs with our own.
Seemed to work well enough for the Avenger.
To be perfectly honest, we couldn't have done that without Dr. Weir's genius. Although, he seems to have some ethical disagreements with munitions development.
How's the Avenger coming?
Slowly, but surely. Dr. Weir's been installing the Vengate, and considering the stresses the Avenger would face, we had to reinforce its hull significantly.
I'm still impressed it can get off the ground at all.
Isn't Dr. Dresner's omni-propulsion system astounding? In fact, if we could channel its energy into a single target, I suspect we could achieve a kinetic impact equivalent to...
Snap out of it, Doc. One thing at a time. It's a bit early to talk about rebuilding society, but I'm curious to see what you got.
It's nothing much, but, well, I've been examining what little we could recover from the outsider seeds. Imagine if we could replicate them.
That would certainly make it easier to rebuild, all right.
Yes, indeed. Why, America could use them to build refugee shelters, revitalize devastated areas, maybe even expand and colonize into ex-Soviet territory.
I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself.
Of course, other nations may mistake this for continued alien attack, but the great thing about these seeds is that they could create bunkers and military fortifications, as well as...
Doc.
Oh, sorry.
I've got other business to take care of. Good luck, Doc.
Yes, of course.
Well, doctors, got yourselves a new toy?
I assure you, the Illyrium coil transfer rifle is no toy. What I mean to say is that we are testing a potential weapon for Mr. Barnes.
Don't we already have access to the Outsider's weaponry? Have you improved on it?
There is always room for improvement, Carter. Always a smoother transfer mechanism, or a more advantageous dispersal pattern to search for.
And you've just gotta find it, don't you?
Or die trying. So to speak.
I don't know. It's gonna be hard to fit that into a holster.
Yes, very funny. But once we test the fundamentals, we can work on the miniaturization.
And it'd still be useful?
Oh yes. By combining our ballistics know-how with the enemy's energy weapons, we are on the cusp of a new horizon in weaponry.
Combining alien technology and our own. Interesting. How does this monstrosity work?
It's very simple, really. Imagine a Tesla coil, only with its voltage focused through a charged Illyrium ballistic delivery system.
In English?
It's a lightning cannon.
I can see how that would be useful. You need any help testing it out?
We were hoping you would ask. Our usual assistant seems to have disappeared again. Not literally disappeared, mind you. No, of course not. That never happens.
You were saying?
Yes, the machinery is in position. Just press the button and stand clear. And try not to disappear.
That's all I need to know.
Yes, I'm sure you'll be a great help. Only appropriate that a field agent be involved. And all that.
If you'd be so kind as to press the button on the device, we can continue testing.
I'm not sure that's gonna be much use in the field, doctors.
Oh dear.
Let me just adjust the discharge levels. Yes, try it again.
That looks more like it.
Quite satisfactory. But I believe we can do better.
Increasing power levels again. Try now.
I think you've still got some problems to iron out, doctors.
Is everyone all right?
Better than all right. Did you see the yield? Off the charts.
It's a miracle we weren't killed. Fantastic!
Say, I was pretty relieved when I passed that crowd's test.
Afraid you were an alien?
Not exactly. More like I was afraid the test would say I was an alien. I don't think it was the kind of test you get to take twice.
Officer, is the prisoner behaving himself?
Huh? Oh, yes. He's been quiet.
Something on your mind?
Sorry, Carter. It's just... I've had a lot on my mind recently.
How's our friendly local infiltrator doing?
He's been pretty quiet since you had a talk with him. Almost like he's meditating or something. But I couldn't say what's going through his head.
Our last talk was rather revealing. Any chance I could talk with him again?
I don't recommend it. But if you go in there, we'll have witnesses on hand to make sure the person who walks out is still you.
Better than having to take that test again. Is this going to affect your duties?
No. No, sir, not at all.
See that it doesn't. Remember who you're guarding here. What's wrong? Must be pretty important to bother a trooper like you.
It's my girl back in Iowa. She's been taking care of some survivors in a big farmhouse, and she sends transmissions every day, but...
But what?
Latest transmission, she sounded really tired. And, said she found traces of black goo on her pillow.
Shit. I'm sorry.
They're already sending a team to recover as many of them as possible. I just hope she gets back here in time.
Be careful, Rose. A distracted guard is a dead guard. Either get over it or get a replacement.
Yes, sir. It won't be a problem, sir.
And, good luck.
Is that noise you use in the test?
It's a special frequency that mimics their mosaic command signals by...
What, like a dog whistle?
Sure. A really complicated dog whistle.
Welcome back, William Carter. It is pleasant to see a familiar face.
You're in a good mood for a prisoner of war?
As are you. Which means you have recovered a phase plotter. So you plan to go through with your suicidal attack?
So, you really want to see the end of Mosaic? Tell us where they're taking the sleepwalkers, and how do we cure them?
I would not know. I am a warrior, not a scholar. I do not know if it can be cured.
We'll see. You must know something about Axis. If we go after him, what should we expect?
Axis? The Primarch. You are an ambitious creature, William Carter.
Axis, Primarch, whatever you call him.
He is wise and patient. There is a reason Mosaic called him to lead. Do you think it a coincidence that your planet fell so quickly to him?
He's not that smart. We've already tracked him down.
Of course you have. He will let you come to him and then he will destroy you. This is suicide, William Carter.
What are you called?
You do not understand how Mosaic functions. When we are connected, we are Mosaic. Individual names are unimportant.
You're not connected anymore. What do you call yourself now?
I do not know. I have never been concerned with it.
Maybe you should. Help us win, and I'll call you whatever you want. Stick around.
Do I have a choice?
Of course not.
Be cautious, William Carter.
Carter, you hear Weaver and Falk screaming at each other earlier? I've never seen those two disagree like that.
You heading outside? Not much left to see out there.
I want you to check and double-check everything. If you went over it, go over it again, and again, just to be sure. Carter, you'll never believe what we found.
What's that?
Just checking the area for safe working conditions. All clear.
We caught a spy sneaking into the Avenger. A damn spy. Here.
Shit. Did he do any damage?
Don't think so. We're double-checking. But I think we got him before he could do much.
Another outsider infiltrator. God damn it.
Not an outsider. A Russian. We get attacked by aliens, and we still have to keep our eyes open for Reds. Those commie bastards never give up.
A Russian? How did he get in?
Been down here for a while. He got himself assigned to the hangar before the attack.
And he managed to evade capture this long? I'd like to talk to this fella. Where is he?
In the foreman's office, right over there. Falk wants him debriefed before we shoot him.
Here to talk with the Russian? Seems like a lost cause to me, but good luck.
Почему ты здесь? Вранье еще. Питание?
Ну, если ты это хочешь, я думал, мы поговорим. Я думал, что найду русского здесь. Как вы узнали об этом месте?
Мы все видим. Нас здесь больше, чем ты даже представляешь. Ваша охрана просто причальная.
Да, я начинаю соглашиваться с вами.
Вы убьете меня?
Я не знаю, если вы заметили, но холодная война отменена. У нас гораздо серьезнее гроза. И у вас тоже.
Пришельцы? Да, я слыхал эту историю. Вы думаете, что я совершенно глупой?
Слушай, я был там, вверху. Все правда. Половина мира мертвая, а другая половина зараженная. Не может быть, что только нас ударили. Я обещаю, что двоим друзьям сестер так же плохо, как и здесь. Но если какой-либо из них все еще жив...
Да это просто смешно. Как ты можешь это доказать, а? Голоса по радио и подделанные фотки? Скажи мне, почему я должен верить в твою сказку?
Убийство вас будет траты. Кто знает, как долго ты здесь скрывался? У тебя есть таланты, нам нужны агенты. Эти посторонние не только американская проблема.
Ты думаешь, это сработает? Ты слабый. Вы все слабые.
Даю тебе предложение. Я пошлю тебя на палубу. Сам можешь убедиться. Если то, что говорю, верно, вы работаете на меня. Если нет, вы можете отбить на Кубу.
И если я не позволяю себя обманывать?
Что ты заботишься? У вас будет оружие. Вы будете отсюда. Так или иначе, вы не будете моей проблемой.
Ладно, дай мне увидеть этих пришельцев для себя.
Довольно иметь вас на борту.
Hope you don't mind me listening in, but I think you did the right thing. We need all the help we can get.
That commie is something, but I think he's gonna come around.
You can't trust him, Carter.
Well, it's humans against aliens right now, not Americans against Russians. I need someone to take him out to see what the aliens have done firsthand.
If you say so. I'll set up a recon mission. Let's just hope he remembers who the good guys are.
Turns out he was a plant all along. Caught him just in time.
Sit down and try not to breathe on anyone.
But,
No buts. Save your energy.
Ah, William. I think you may have caught them just in time.
What's the prognosis, Doc? Can you cure them?
I am a physicist, not a physician. I will study them, however.
These three agents were all on the same mission together, weren't they?
Yes. Perhaps you've uncovered something even more interesting. If we can retrace their steps at their last mission, perhaps we can find the source of the infections. It may even lead to the cure.
Or we might just end up with another sleepwalker.
It is a risk, yes. But one that may save thousands, tens of thousands of lives. The choice is yours, William.
Guy was a bit of a klutz when he came here, but he's really helping out. Said he owes you big, Carter.
There's anything we can do for them?
Them from being shipped off to who knows where. It's gotta be something, right?
I've nearly found him, Myron. He's so close. Put me on this mission and I'll hand you his head on a platter.
We're sending Carter after Axis. This is what he does.
Then send us out together.
No one's going anywhere until we know where to look. Agent Weaver, I know why you want to go after Axis. I cannot allow personal feelings to interfere with the mission.
Something going on I should know about?
There you are. Agent Weaver has tracked access to the Pacific Northwest.
Oregon. His base is in Oregon.
I'll leave it to the two of you to narrow down our search area. Something smaller than an entire state.
We should talk, Carter.
Angela, Agent Weaver.
It's okay, Will. How are you feeling?
Like hammered shit. But I'm still here.
Good. We're onto something.
You and Falk have a problem?
That doesn't matter. All that matters is finding access.
All right. What do we know so far?
I've tracked access to Southwest Oregon. Somewhere remote.
Everywhere in Southwest Oregon is remote.
There's a lot of forest out there. Enough room for access to hide. But I found something. Radio signals.
And they're not ours?
No, I triple-checked, and Ware confirmed it. The broadcast isn't human. What I could translate mentions access repeatedly. They must have some sort of facility there.
Chelsky or Crud might be able to help. They're both smart enough to put one and one together and come up with two. I'll talk to Chelsky, you track down Crud.
Good idea. I should have thought of it.
You'd have thought of it if the old man hadn't got you all riled up. I'll check in with Chelsky and Weir, too.
Thanks, Will. This means a lot. Meet me back at Falk's office when you're done.
You sure they are dangerous?
I don't think we're sure about anything.
Chelsky.
Sir?
Heard anything interesting?
I hear all sorts of interesting things, sir. How many of them are true? That's a different question. You looking for something specific?
Agent Weaver found a signal in Oregon. I need you to look at this.
She mentioned something about that. Oregon, right?
Yeah, she thinks there might be a facility there.
Well, let's see.
Let me know what you find.
I should be able to pin it down soon. Agent Weaver already did the hard part.
I'll come back later.
William, thank God you're all right. You are all right, aren't you?
Yeah, I suppose I am.
You had everyone worried.
Yeah, probably not just about my health. I hear you've been helping Agent Weaver track down information about Axis. Anything I should know?
Yes. It's absolutely imperative you take him alive. We need to take his mosaic implant from him while he's still alive. It will automatically erase itself if he dies.
I generally prefer my outsiders dead.
I won't bore you with the details, but Axis appears to be one of the few outsiders who has been to the Mosaic core, where the being they call Origin seems to reside. I can take that information from his mind, if he's alive.
How do you do that?
It's quite remarkable. It has to do with how they process information and communicate with the Mosaic network. It involves electrical pulses.
Well, if you think you can do it, that's good enough for me. What happens once we have those coordinates?
We go to the alien homeworld.
You sure it'll work?
Fairly certain. There's more guesswork involved than I'd like. If I had more time, or if I had Lawrence here.
Buck up, Doc. At least if it doesn't work, we'll all be dead.
Very reassuring, Agent Carter.
Now you know how it feels.
The world is an uncertain place. Sometimes the things we're most sure of.
You're talking about Lawrence, aren't you?
Yes, I suppose I am.
Look, you thought you could trust him, and when it counted, he came through. I don't know why he helped us, but human or not, he did.
I wish I could just ask him why he lied to me.
Why does anyone? We got work to do.
Right.
That means you've figured out how the phase plotter works.
I believe I have. The boys in engineering are installing it on the Avenger even as we speak.
You picked up a lot in that tower.
I managed to gather a great deal of information in that alien tower. The scope and complexity of that network. It's just remarkable.
We're lucky to have you on board with us.
It wasn't luck that brought me here, Agent Carter.
Let's hope the Avenger can handle it. I'm dying to see where these things come from.
Agent Weaver locked himself in her office.
I trust this isn't a social visit.
Chelsky tracked down the outsider signal near an abandoned campground in southwest Oregon, just where Agent Weaver said. It's Axis. It has to be. The sooner we find Axis, the sooner we find Mosaic and get these assholes off our planet. Agent Weaver's been tracking Axis for years. She's obsessed with bringing him down. She deserves to be there, Falk.
That's the problem, Agent Carter. I need someone who can keep a cool head. But barring that, I'll make do with you.
This doesn't make any sense. You're hiding something.
What's your point, Agent?
Tell me what's going on, Falk.
We need to take Axis alive, and you are our best chance to do this. Dr. Weir needs whatever information the bastard has stored in his head. If he dies, that information is lost. Understood?
Let me take Weaver as part of my team.
Absolutely not.
Why?
I'm not accustomed to explaining myself.
Tell me why.
Because neither of you are models of restraint. Consider your history, Agent. Between your past and her personal interests in Axis, I can't risk compromising this mission.
So why send me at all?
I know you'll get the job done. And if you don't, I've only lost one of my best agents, not both of them.
She's one of the best agents we have.
And you're the other one. We've already lost De Silva, Nils, and at least a dozen other senior agents. I'm not gonna risk losing 2 more of my best assets on a single mission. Especially not when one of them is a risk to the mission itself.
But you need...
Attention! Unauthorized launch. Sky Ranger Foxtrot 9-1. Return to base immediately.
God damn it.
Weaver.
Jesus Christ. She's gone after Axis.
And here you thought it'd be me who'd go rogue.
You need to stop her.
Stop her? You're not saying...
No, of course not. Not unless you have to. Find her and talk her down. We need Axis alive.
We need them both alive.
Exactly. Gear up and head to Ops when you're ready. We'll go over the mission details.